Look at this cool guy, I'm gonna turn him into bits. He's a cool guy, I'm gonna turn him into bits. There's no plan here. It was just something to do on a Thursday. And it seems like an easy video. I haven't made one of these in a while. We're gonna chip chop them up. I painted this like 10 years ago, probably now. And the model felt very old then, never mind now. And I don't really like how he looks. He's really wet because I just washed all the cobwebs off of him. I should have captured him before that too. I think the only real goal of like improving anything here is I want to make him more like structurally sound. This is fine cast and like bends all the time, which is why he why he jiggles around when you shake him like that. So I'm gonna use this Nightbringer torso because I just have this. I think a friend gave me this in middle school and it's been like paint stripped for probably also close to 10 years now, just laying around. I'm gonna use this for the lower portion. This base is a bit extra for me. I want to turn that into something cooler too. This skyboard head is sick. I think it looks like fine. I just like don't like this kind of extreme base design and think I could do something cooler. So yeah, let's just start hacking them apart. This is a rage bait channel now. I'm gonna make this the Warhammer equivalent of those guys who just like destroy trading cards for no reason. Oh, did I pin this in? Oh man, that makes me not wanna. Whatever. I already broke the pin. It's too late now. Damn, I pinned this. That's more work than I would have expected out of my former self. Good job, me. 10 years ago. Oops, there goes a crystal. Definitely didn't pin that. How deep does the pin go? Should I even use this base? I guess so. I'll use the base. So that, it's gotta go. Probably use this in a different thing. I don't know if it fits that well here. There goes leg. There goes the leg. These go into the bit span. This will probably go back on. That's kind of fun. Maybe these, I think I'm just gonna end up destroying this whole base and then not doing anything with these and realizing I should have just started with a new base, but whatever. Yeah, I want something like a little muted and desaturated. This whole vibe is too much for me. I'm a serious grim dark painter now. You know me, just desaturated tones and oils. No room for fun or whimsy in my Blanchitsu heart. It's the new me, Mom. I'm not a second edition painter like I was in school last year. We're throwing all that stuff away. I'm just a cool, grimdark, straight shooter now. Just like a middle schooler who's decided they now suddenly really hate Green Day after finding out about Black Flag 6 months later. Okay. Let me try and make something out of this mess I've created and cut back. Maybe this is the whole video. I just destroy Lord of Change and then end it. Maybe. Yeah, we'll see. Alright. So far, all I've done mostly is make a mess out of cork, but we're gonna try and drill a hole here now. This guy actually won a painting contest. That's what this is from. This is a entry number in a painting contest. Again, forever ago. Do you know what that's what these are for? They're there so that they're supposed to be like pilot holes for like pinning stuff in the bottom. Took me so long to figure it out. That's fine. That's a hole. Looks like a hole to me. That's a perfect fit. Look at that. Man, it doesn't even need to be pinned. This cork is too much. I guess I'll leave them like this and like fill in the rest of sand maybe. I feel like it might look like super flat, but I think we can use this cork for structural integrity. I don't want this guy to break. I don't care if it looks a little worse. I'm just gonna absolutely smother this thing in glue. I'm playing a game of fourth maybe, I think, in a few hours. Or third or fourth. It's almost the same rule set. One of the two later. And I thought it'd be fun to come up with something new for that game. So the plan was to kit bash and paint this guy in the 2 hours I have, but I don't know if that'll actually happen. I guess I could just do this and then go to painting, and then he'd actually get done, but I kind of want to do a little bit more. Let me get some green stuff mixed up too. I feel like most of the green stuff I've painted in my lifetime has been like not fully cured. I'm just like so impatient with it. Alright, I think we can commit to at least doing this. I have to find a pose that isn't gonna stress me out or make me feel bad forever. Dude, do I even want to use this head? I love the Lord of Change head. Maybe I should use a different one. Use his actual head for another project. I guess that's okay. Yeah, actually looks pretty sick from the back, too. Yeah, I don't hate that. That's fine. Okay. Got our old friend, Mr. Heat Gun. Try not to melt the rest of the model in the process. Something like that. Just a little bit of a curve. I don't know if I'm going to get it exactly the way I want, but I think we can get it better than it was before, at least. Ow, it's hot. Ow. The heat gun is hot. Who knew? Alright, we got some green stuff on here. Gonna make this cloth look semi-presentable. I'm sort of copying, like, what's the texture down below. I want to make it look, like, believable, but I think I'm gonna paint this black and just try not to call that much attention to it. I mean, yeah, cloth's, like, not that hard to sculpt if you're going over an existing form. It's not that hard to sculpt poorly, at least. I think, yeah. I feel like it's very easy to just be like precious about like older stuff, right? Just like this is an increasingly harder to find model. There's not that many Lords of Change left in the world from this era, I'd imagine. There's, you know, a lot, but unless they've done like some re-release I'm like not aware of. I don't know if there's like a made to order that like pumped up the volume of them, but yeah, like I've just had this dude forever, and like I don't really get any like value or joy from seeing this old one with like a paint job I don't care about sit on a shelf all the time. And I'd rather just try and turn it into something I actually care about than let it continue to just waste space on a shelf. Like the emotional difference between like this guy just sitting there and me being like kind of indifferent to the paint job on him, versus like if I give up on this and just, you know, like worst case scenario, throw the whole thing in the bits box and never do anything with it is like still probably worth the risk. I just feel like I used to just hoard all these like old bits and like never ever do anything with them. So I was like, oh, I gotta find the perfect project for this, but that like usually didn't happen. A couple times it did, so I don't want to just like pretend that's impossible either, but yeah, most of the time I just ended up like not really doing anything with it, or just like finding some random thing to like use it in that like isn't even as cool as like other things. I was like, no, maybe I'll like save it for a different thing that like I rejected along the way. Sometimes it's nice just to settle, you know? Just settle for something that's good enough. Maybe I should put some chains or whatever. That could be cool. Maybe chains. Chains usually help. Alright, we got some chains on there. They, I think they make the robe look a little better too. Ooh, unless you like smush it in like that. Shouldn't realize. Oops, maybe they just ruin your robe. Folks, don't do let green stuff dry before putting stuff on top of it. Don't be like me. Whatever, it's good enough. He'll be fine. I think the last thing I know I want to do is like fix this gap, unless I decide to rip the wings out entirely, which I'm leaning towards not doing now, even though I kind of wanted to at first, just for time's sake mostly. I care more about him, I think, like, being a thing I get to paint than, like, being the world's most unique Kitbash or whatever. And I think he looks, like, I don't know, like, interesting enough like this, so I won't go that crazy. I don't know if that looks better or worse. Whatever, we'll move on. I feel like I didn't document the before enough to give you a good before and after, but, yeah, trust me in that he's looking marginally better than before, I think. Damn, he's kind of sick. I'll say it. I haven't sculpted feathers like this in a long time. We'll see how that goes. I feel like there's gotta be like an easy, like Trish Monster Girl or one of those like old GW sculptor tutorials for how to do this better than I'm gonna do it here. That already looks kind of bad. No, that sucks. No, it sucks too. I'm just gonna literally look it up. I bet I could use these as a stamp if I had a second one. That would be cool. I found this wing, which I'm gonna use to just press into the green stuff and hope that looks okay. If you've never seen this before, I think this is like generally well known, but yeah, you can just use like other models as a like stamp for green stuff basically. The angle of the wings does make this a little more difficult. I mean, we're getting somewhere. Like, it looks like kind of fine already, honestly. It doesn't look like that good, but for just like covering up a hole, I think it's okay. I think we want to make a statement. I'm gonna go for these big old honkers without even dry fitting them in. Actually, maybe these are cooler. Wait. The big ones are cool. Maybe big ones. Clip. Oh, that's gone forever. The horn landed on this Great and Clean one sprue, which I was briefly debating how to integrate, but I think we're getting bogged down in details and I just want to get to painting. So I'm gonna just get that and not take it as a sign from God. I gave him an extra set of horns, and this is hopefully probably gonna be the final amount of green stuff I use, just to blend them into the head a bit. And then also like work as like an adhesive kind of too. I think the green stuff will add some structural support to them when they dry. And they're just like super glued on there. So they're not, I mean, they're fine, but they're not insanely sturdy. This is not a model we're gonna bother like pinning for. All right, I'm just gonna sculpt on. Okay, put some super glue on there. We got some rocks on the base now. I use super glue because I want to paint this really quickly, and this dries a lot faster than like Mod Podge or whatever. I don't want to wait for wood glue to dry, so we're just using super glue. Yeah, for now, I mean, I'm just gonna prime him. I think he looks pretty not bad for something that I didn't really have a plan for. I'm happier with him now than I was like at least like before I started doing this today. So it's fun to have a new Lord of Change I care about. I've got these extra little leg bits I'll do something cool with. I was gonna clip these accursed cultists off and like give him additional wings. Actually, now that I was gonna say I moved on from that idea, but now that I see it, that does look, God, that would be kind of sick. Give him like 4 wings. And some of them have that like sort of ripped bat wing texture. Damn. Alright, well, think about that for like 5 minutes and hopefully decide not to. Yeah, besides, I think he's ready for priming. I use this purple primer literally just because I'm out of black, but now I think I'm gonna go over it and airbrush it with a little bit of black. And then just start doing some real fast gradients on here to get like basic color shapes in. I've got some black on there. Just gonna blast the base with some brown. Maybe we'll do brown on the wings too. Partially just because I have so much in this airbrush. Here's where we're at after, I don't know how long it's been. Probably like 2 hours at this point. 2 hours of painting since the last time. It's also, I think, like 5 days later, and the game I was getting ready for never happened. Yeah, he's like a real guy now. There's a lot of paint on there. I kind of just ended up painting him in the exact same way. I think I could have turned that model into this model if I had access to like 4 different adjustment layers in Photoshop. But here we are in the tactile physical world, and I had to just repaint the whole thing instead. But yeah, I don't know, he's getting there. I think I want to add some more highlights and touch up some little details, and then I think it'll be done. And we can stop doing this, and we can all move on with our lives. As is befitting the Lord of Change, it was fun to just arbitrarily repaint this guy with no real purpose in mind. Even if he just goes back to sitting on a shelf indefinitely, I think he'll look a little nicer there. I think part of the reason I wanted to repaint him too was just to go against like the consumption mentality of its often associated. I mean, it's just inherent to the format of like miniature gaming, although I feel like it doesn't have to be. I would say it's inherent culturally, but there's no reason you can't just go back and repaint and remix your old stuff instead of just like trying to add to your collection. I feel like I've grown a lot as a painter since the first time I painted this guy, and I want to now do the same with some other models I have. Also, it's just another step in me delaying the Chaos Knight video that I probably should have been working on instead, but maybe I'll go do that now. Maybe not. Maybe not. Alright, see you later. Stay safe, support your friends. It's getting weird out there. Hang in there, everyone. Goodbye.